So what do we find when we look more closely at shame, especially through the eyes of self-compassion? What does shame look like? So we discover that there are actually three paradoxes about shame, three insights. There's an illusion and there's an insight. So the first is that shame feels blameworthy, but it's actually an innocent emotion that calls for kindness. Shame, an innocent emotion. It's innocent because it arises from the wish to be loved. The energy of shame is the wish to be loved. It is innocent. The second insight is that although shame feels isolating, it's actually a universal emotion. Everybody knows what shame is. It actually connects us when we remind ourselves. And the third insight is that shame feels permanent and all-encompassing. It's like this is like who I really am. It feels like this is some truth about us. It feels all-encompassing, it feels permanent, but it's just an emotion. Shame is just an emotion. It's a temporary emotion. We don't always feel shame. It's a temporary emotion, and it only represents a burden that part of us is carrying. It is not who we are. So these are three insights through the eyes of self-compassion. These insights correspond to the three components of self-compassion, namely self-kindness, the one about it feels blameworthy, but it's innocent emotion, self-kindness. Second, common humanity. And third, mindfulness. When we discover these insights, in other words, not just intellectually, but feel them in our own direct experience, shame can never be quite the same again. We actually pierce the illusion. When we use the word innocent, when I say that it feels blameworthy, but it's an innocent emotion, we are not denying that shame can have tragic consequences. We're simply suggesting that shame arises from the universal wish to be loved. So reclaiming the wish to be loved is the first and most courageous act of many people on the path to self-compassion. And it can also, by the way, kick up a lot of difficult emotions. But the innocence of the wish to be loved also makes self-compassion more accessible.